Johnny, thank you for talking to us today at Chief Data and Analytics Officer UK. Could you please tell me a little bit about yourself and your background and what you do at Countrywide?
So I'm Research and Analytics Director at Countrywide. Countrywide is the biggest property services group in the UK. That means we help people buy and sell homes, rent properties, advise on buying and selling of land and development, and also involved in the commercial real estate market. At Countrywide, my role is about understanding the market, the business, and our customers so that we can make better decisions and better choices. That means I'm responsible in some part for our data and our analytics and our insight.
So now we're into February. What key things do you think will come to the forefront in data and analytics in 2018?
I think this year will be a bit of a sort of foundational year for data and analytics, where some of the tools that we've been talking about for some time now become more accessible. So for example, I think one of the biggest changes I've seen in recent years and recent months is the cost and ease of accessing third-party products that use machine learning, for example, for customer insight. I think we'll see more of those off-the-shelf products. That means that for most businesses, the entry point to more sophisticated analytics will probably drop a little.
What would you say are and have been the key barriers and challenges in data and analytics in 2018?
I think our organisation has grown by acquisition in the past. So, like many others, we have plenty of silos and plenty of, let's say, challenges around kind of consolidation. And that's been a barrier to the past because it's just naturally complex and it's hard to deal with. I think that's something that we've been working on for some time and are fixing.
How far into your data and analytics strategy are you within your organisation?
I've been at Countrywide for 5 years now. I'm very much driving that kind of journey for the business since joining. And I think in some areas of the business, we're actually at the point where you could say we're quite mature, particularly sort of digital marketing, for example. In some others, in some of the operational parts of the business, there's still plenty of room for us to kind of add value and make a difference. So we're maybe halfway there, you might say.
What are the primary objectives for your data and analytics strategy within your organisation for the coming year?
So I guess for us, it's very much about, for us, it's very much about focusing in on the products that we already provide that are adding value and making sure that they're going to continue to add value and optimizing them. Continuing on some work is in centralizing data and also being more compliant with GDPR in a way. Of course, that's a focus of the first half of this year. And then also trying to carry on our work on culture change, where we're working with the business to really kind of get evidence-based decision making adopted and doing the work of simplifying a lot of what our leaders see and our colleagues see on a day-to-day basis so they can make better decisions easier.
What software tools, platforms and services will you be evaluating in the next 6 to 12 months?
We're pretty happy with our technology stack at the moment, and we have we either have built already or are in the process of acquiring kind of data analytics and visualization layers of our technology stack. The stuff we're going to be looking at is probably more specialist tools that might, for example, give us specific customer insights or might offer us a shortcut into some kind of tricky business problem.
What do you think is the key thing or things that have revolutionized the data and analytics industry so far?
Well, I guess the obvious go-to answer there is the cost of storage and computing power declining so rapidly to enable us to do lots of cool data-intensive and computational power-intensive stuff. Really, though, I guess from a practical perspective, actually the interest and kind of hype around the industry is what's really changed it day to day as someone working in industry, because that's added a lot of interest for senior business leaders in my organisation and many others, which means when you're talking about how you can make a difference with data and analytics and how you can improve business processes, generate more revenue, find happier customers, there's some of the work's already done. So I would say it's that kind of presence of mind is a hot topic at the moment.
How do you think the data and analytics landscape will change over, say, the next year, 2 years, and even into 2020 and beyond?
I feel like any prediction of what's going to happen by 2020, I would probably be watching it back in a few years thinking, I probably got that wrong, given the pace of development. I think we're going to have lots of the same problems. We're still going to have plenty of organisation with kind of legacy systems that haven't got their hands around their data, and plenty of organisations that are pushing the boundaries and doing stuff that was hardly even imaginable 5 years ago. I guess what I'd like to see is more of the organisations that are lagging behind finding ways, probably through new technology, new service providers, maybe kind of easier access points, lower barriers to entry, of getting value from analytics.
Why did you choose to enter the data and analytics industry?
Choose is probably a strong word. Whilst now I run a team of analysts, data scientists and data engineers, my background is very much as an analyst. And I guess I started in the property industry as an analyst, and I studied science. So I was interested in property, and I was good at analysing things. And it's kind of developed from there. I guess the reason why I have picked up, say, a bit more interest in some of the technical side of things is because I've discovered that's where you make the big difference. And as an analyst, I kind of discovered earlier parts of my career that your best friends were the people who were managing the data, or perhaps even back, sort of 10 years ago, didn't even see themselves as managing the data, but were responsible for the systems that happened to have data in it. So for me, it's a bit of a natural progression.
What is the best thing about working within the data and analytics industry?
The best thing is feeling like you have the tools and the skills to be able to really give people answers to questions that might have been around for a long time, might be very valuable to answer. So it's being able to find yourself the answer to a question and the evidence to back that up.
If you were granted one wish to change something within the data and analytics industry, what would that wish be?
One totally radical wish, which is maybe one day will be possible, is that I wish that all of that tricky ETL work that invariably happens to get data from one place to another, and then also the process of getting your data from a mess to something structured could be done at a single push of a button.
Thank you. And what's been your biggest challenge and toughest lesson to date that you've had within data and analytics?
I guess the lesson everyone learns as they apply data and analytics in business is that sometimes you might have the right solution or the right product, but it's in the wrong environment, or you haven't communicated it right, or you haven't got business buy-in. So I guess the sort of most important lesson, I guess, is ensuring that you're doing the right thing for the business, a strategy and commercial plan, which means then that your analytics solution or insight will be effective and have impact.
Why did you decide to be a keynote speaker at Chief Data and Analytics Officer 2018?
So I have been before and I have spoken before, and I've enjoyed the event. It's a great opportunity to meet like-minded people with similar problems, similar challenges, and just learn a bit more about what other people are doing and hopefully take some good ideas back to the office.
How important to you are events like this, and how important is it, do you think, to bring the data and analytics community together?
I think it's great to find ways to spend time with your colleagues from other organisations and other industries, because it's just, if nothing else, it's about productivity. We all have a similar set of problems, so being able to share how we've approached different things and kind of what challenges we're experiencing at the moment is always valuable.
So Johnny, thank you very much for talking to me this afternoon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you very much.